So, after some delay, Attack on Titan has released its final episode. And when I say final, I mean final episode for the part before the actual final part, which is meant to come out in 2023, finally. But anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. First of all, let's go over what happened in the final episode of Season 4, Part 2, The Dawn of Humanity, how far along the story is in the manga, what this all means, and let's take a look at just how far some of our favorite characters have sadly come.
Eren.
So, when it was announced that Season 4 would be the last season of Attack on Titan and that it would have a relatively short run, a number of fans were left wondering how exactly they would manage to fit all of the details and story beats from Hajime Isayama's manga into that limited runtime. And many feared another Game of Thrones ending. I mean, don't we all? But just as we thought we were out, they pulled us back in with a, at this point, rather familiar bait and switch, confirming that there will be a part 3 of the show coming out, maybe probably sometime in 2023, which will mark the 10th anniversary of Attack on Titan. But, admittedly, for all we know, maybe there will be a part 4 as well. Anyway, I'm rambling. Let's actually get to the episode. Dawn of Humanity serves as our last real look at the humanity of our one-time favorite protagonist and one of my favorite characters of all time, Eren Yeager, before he fell into full Heisenberg levels of villainy. Overall, the episode is a reflective look at the journey the main characters have gone through and the steps Mikasa and co have taken before they embark on their final conflict against Eren's founding Titan in order to stop the rumbling. Which is, of course, a reference to a cataclysmic event that threatens life on Earth. The episode on the whole is a mix of flashbacks that spends time adding extra characterization and moments of humanity with a propulsive journey leading to absolute chaos. The episode begins with Mikasa recalling the Scout Regiment's first trip to Marley, which they visited in disguise. As she does, she has a mixture of memories, some of them joyful, such as their time connecting with refugees from the war and trying ice cream for the very first time, but also the disappointment of learning that the subjects of Ymir Protection Group weren't all they were cracked up to be. This was when Eren left the Scout Regiment and started going solo, telling his former comrades that he would follow the plan of his brother Zeke. As she reflects on these past events, Mikasa contemplates that if different choices had been made along the way, then maybe things could have turned out differently and perhaps better. On the other side of the coin, Eren is also reflecting on the path that led him to where he is now. In a flashback, he recalls how he had met Yelena and first learned of Zeke's euthanasia plan. He also remembers how he had confided in Flock Forster, and that he would only pretend to go along with Zeke's plan when in actuality he would use the rumbling to wipe out the rest of the world. Another thing he reflects on is how he had tried and failed to persuade Historia Reese to fight or flee before the military police turned her into a Titan to eat Zeke. His memories also confirm that the Ackermans have no genetic compulsion to protect the founding Titan, and that this was a lie he told Mikasa after Zeke made him realize that she loves him as more than just a brother. Finally, we see that Eren was genuinely distraught that Sasha died, having wanted nothing more than long and happy lives for all of his friends, which, is kinda sad. Then, out the window goes the time for quiet reflection, and in comes a thick stream of horrifying chaos. At sea, a fleet of ships try and prevent the rumbling the best they can, as they set out to repel Eren's army of wall titans. However, their efforts are very much in vain, as they are wiped out in traumatic ways, with there being a sequence where a ship's crew get boiled alive because the steam from the titans that travel underneath them heat up the water to such incredibly hot temperatures. Another wave of defense in the form of artillery tries to prevent the army once more, but again proves ineffective, with them quickly fleeing for their lives as Eren and his titans finally arrive at Marley's shores, with the episode coming to a close with the view of Eren in his titan form. And that, until 2023 anyway, is that. But while this is the end for now, thankfully for fans of the anime, it's not the end. And as we mentioned, there will be another installment coming next year to leave us spellbound and traumatized in equal measure. And that is a good thing, as there is still a lot of ground to cover if they want to fit in all the material found in the manga, which we won't go into full here because, spoilers. but we may allude to some potential obvious plot points. Now, we can imagine that Eren's war against humanity will continue to be waged as we follow the path to one big climactic showdown with a bunch of people dying horrifically along the way. I mean, this is Attack on Titan after all. Meanwhile, any hope at redemption or way back for Eren has sadly fallen by the wayside, and our fallen son is seemingly lost in the darkness. But how much time will the anime get to wrap it all up, and when can we be seeing it on our screens? We can quietly revel in the fact that there will be some more Attack on Titan to come, whenever that may be. Now, let's end on some trivia, shall we? Apparently, Hajime Isayama got the idea for the Titans in Attack on Titan when he encountered a drunk customer at a coffee shop that he worked in, and was inspired by the inability to communicate with his assailant and realized the most dangerous thing was the human race.